You are watching the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, and today we're discussing some players who should play more. Because I'll let you guys in on a secret. The defense sucks. It's bad. It is absolutely horrible, and it's time for some changes. Now, it might not work out, but you got to try something if you're Dallas. We'll begin with Bradlee Anae. Has played 5 snaps this year. On defense, I should say. 5. That's it. The defensive line in general has simply not lived up to expectations. They haven't. Dorance Armstrong is outright bad. And I had very high hopes for Everson Griffen. And honestly, he's barely been worth putting on the field. Aldon Smith has been inconsistent, but he's been your best edge. DeMarcus Lawrence has been banged up, and that's really hurting you, and he's not living up to his contract, but he's at least been worth playing. The real problem right now for the Cowboys and for Dorance Armstrong, or for the Cowboys, is that Everson Griffen and Dorance Armstrong are not helping you. Now, the pressure rate for Everson Griffen is okay at 10.5%, and I know PFF is not the perfect source for everything, but the run grade checks out. Everson Griffen has gotten his ass kicked by tight ends in the run game. I mean, what are you doing out there? Dorance Armstrong, for all of his snaps, has a 2.7% pressure rate. Guys, you might be able to get that. That is non-existent. The snaps for Dorance Armstrong, and honestly some for Everson Griffen, unless something changes, should be going to Bradlee Anae. It's time to see what he can do. Is it going to fix it? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I liked him a lot coming out of Utah. I liked him more than I liked Dorance Armstrong coming out of Kansas. Let's give him a shot. If it doesn't work, at least try. And that's the common theme for me on today's show. You have to try something because what you've been doing isn't working. Let's give Anae a shot. Now, Anae is not the only player we're going to discuss, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments as well. Let me know which Cowboys players you think need to play more. This will be the pinned comment, by the way, on today's video. So if you get that ad break, head on down and get your votes in. I know some of you will put in this name, Donovan Wilson. Now, Wilson looked much better than Darian Thompson did last week. At the same time, that's really not saying anything, and there are some flaws in Wilson's game. Now, he had 10 tackles, which is nice. He also missed 2, and they were ugly missed tackles. I mean, one, he fills the gap perfectly and whiffs. The sack, by the way, he gets credit because he technically touched Baker Mayfield. In reality, you guys don't want to hear it, DeMarcus Lawrence made that play. But that's besides, we're talking about safeties here. Donovan Wilson, you might as well throw him out there because Darian Thompson ain't it. Reggie Robinson, I think, needs a year anyway. I always thought he was going to be a redshirt guy. If you want to play him more too, why not? You might as well see what Wilson can do. He's made plays when he's been on the field. Maybe he's a gamer. Maybe you put him out there and you get an interception. I would kill for a turnover. If you're going to allow all these points and yards, you got to take the ball away. And so far, the Cowboys have simply not been doing that. Now, I don't know if Donovan Wilson is the answer at safety, but I do know it is not Darian Thompson. So if it's not Thompson, let's at least try Wilson and see what happens. So get your votes in. Y for yes or N for no. Let's go to Neville Gallimore now, who has actually been inactive for week 2. Now, from what I understand, or since week 2, excuse me, the Cowboys have concerns about Gallimore holding up against the run, which is fine. That's fair. He was a bit of a developmental guy, not having played much football. But you know what? Your current tackles suck against the run, too. Dontari Poe looks completely washed. Tristan Hill, 1 plays in the backfield, the next one he's on the ground. Doesn't do you much. Tyrone Crawford hasn't played good football since his bar fight. Antwaun Woods, I know you guys like him, he sucks too. You got no good run stoppers. So you know what? Let's try it. Maybe it works out, but he's a 3rd-round pick for you for a reason. He can help you some in passing downs. I would rather see Gallimore out there than I would continue to see Antwaun Woods on passing downs or Tyrone Crawford, because Crawford is a complete waste of money right now. It's a huge problem. Gallimore, 3rd-round pick. Get him on the field. Crawford's banged up right now. This is the opportunity to put him back out there and see what he can do. Speaking of seeing what he can do or what you can do, head over to BetUS and see if you can't make yourself some extra money betting on, or this year against, the Dallas Cowboys. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys125. That gets you a 125% deposit bonus. And if you put down $100, I'm going to cover your losses. For one bet on each of the next 3 Cowboys games, up to $25 each. If you lose, I will Venmo you. I will cover your losses up to that $25 amount. You have to put down $100, and it's only available for new BetUS customers. It's chatsports.com/bet. The promo code is Cowboys125. Once you sign up and deposit, email us, cowboys@chatsports.com. Send us your account ID. Send us your Venmo. That way we can get things going as soon as possible and help you cover your losses or just outright make some money betting on the Cowboys. Let's go to linebacker now, Luke Gifford. As many of you know, I liked Jaylon Smith a lot in 2018, and I began to sour on him last year. And this year, he's just bad. Jaylon Smith has been a major problem, and Joe Thomas is technically your best linebacker in a scheme that normally only uses 2, and Alden's kind of like a stand-up edge. It's a weird hybrid thing, but it's fine. Joe Thomas hasn't been that better either. They haven't been very good. Thomas is fine when he's your 4th linebacker. When he is your best linebacker playing, oh no. Now, Jaylon Smith's raw numbers look okay. About 10 tackles a game, couple tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups. But then you look beyond the raw box score, and you go, oh no. And you realize that Jaylon Smith's missed tackles at 4, higher percentage than what he had over his NFL career. It's his highest ever. The completion percentage, also his highest ever. The yards, he's almost halfway to his high, and we're a quarter of the way done. His pressures are gone. All the things that Jaylon did well, normally being a good tackler and getting pressure when he blitzed, they aren't happening. He's regressed across the board. So you have to try something. Maybe it's Luke Gifford. If you want to try Francis Bernard, it's okay too. My suggestion, let's just see what Luke Gifford can do for a series or 2. I'm not saying outright bench Jaylon Smith, but let's at least see what Luke Gifford can do if he gets a series or 2. Maybe giving Smith a breather will help him play better too. It's at least trying something. So in reality, even though you sunk all this money into Jaylon and he's regressed as a player, got to play him a little bit less, and you probably don't want to wait until LVE and or Sean Lee get back. But get your votes in. Should Jaylon play less? Here's why I'm saying it. I'm typing in my 1 for, I think he should. Now I'm going to cheat with this player. That is one Anthony Brown, the cornerback. Again, he's been injured, so it's not fair for me to include him, but it's my show. I can make the rules and break them if I want. The Cowboys corners, and I will say this as gently as I can, have been, in the words of the great Tathan Martell, ass my dude. They've just been terrible. Trevon Diggs, he gives you a couple plays here and there. Allowed 281 yards. Darryl Worley, every time you target him, it's a completion. 2 touchdowns. Jordan Lewis doesn't look very good either, and he barely played last week. You got to get some fresh blood in there or some healthy bodies. Darryl Worley is exactly who I thought he was. Diggs is up and down. Keep playing him. It was always going to be the case. But you got to get Anthony Brown back out there, because right now, folks, Diggs is not your best corner. Now, if you include injury guys, probably Cheeto. If Anthony Brown comes back, might be him. I know y'all are going to type in Diggs because you like him, you've decided that you are a fan of his, and think he's a great player. He's not there. He'll get there, I think, but he's not the best cornerback right now, so get your votes in the comments section. Now, we went heavy on the defensive side of the ball for obvious reasons, but I do want to mention some offensive players, especially with more major injuries on that offensive line. So a couple players on that line that I want to mention as guys who should be playing more. Tyler Biadisz is first up for me. And I know that Joe Looney's out. But you know what? If Biadisz plays the way I think he will and or plays the way he has been, he should keep playing. The offensive line, specifically Connor Williams, have played better with Biadisz starting. So don't mess that up. Keep it going. Now, Brandon Knight might be forced to play more if Tyron misses the rest of the season. My point here was going to be play him over Terrence Steele. Now you might have to play both. But regardless, Knight is your best backup offensive tackle. So be it at left tackle, be it at right tackle, whatever it is, if Tyron comes back this year, put him at right tackle. If he can't go, keep him on the left side. It's not pretty if Tyron's out because Connor Williams is like maybe average overall. He's been below average. He regressed, but picked things back up. But all of a sudden, he's like your fourth best or third best lineman. That's not good. If you don't have Tyron, I think the solution, by the way, is to play Connor McGovern. I think you have to get him on the field. I don't want to see Terrence Steele anymore. I don't. He was raw to begin with. He needed time to develop. He threw him into the fire, and I mean, he didn't die, so I guess that's a win. But your team got burned as a result. So I think the solution, keep Brandon Knight in that lineup, even though maybe you don't actually want to. Now, we'll see what that Cowboys offensive line looks like in Week 5 against the Giants because much like we were against the Cleveland Browns, and as painful as it was, we will be live during the game with our fun watch parties, bringing the bar to you guys. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe today. One last player, Ced Wilson. Before you even think about it, no, this is not at the expense of Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, or Ceedee Lamb. My suggestion, though, is why not run more 4 receiver sets, especially when everyone and your brother knows they have to throw the football. The Cowboys have used 4 receiver sets on less than 5% of their snaps this year. Why not double that? It's not a lot, but it is something. And Wilson has looked pretty good. And oh, by the way, we should probably give Dak some credit for that, but that's a whole different conversation. If you're the Cowboys, who would you rather have out there when you know you have to throw the football? Ced Wilson or Dalton Schultz? I don't know about you guys, but I would rather have Ced Wilson. I think that makes more sense for the Cowboys, and it gives you more options for a team that is going to have to continue to throw it all season long.